initiative. It is not about your personal use. Don't get yourself in trouble. Okay? All right, so it has to be a registered voter. So when you go to have your petitions, you need to also have a voter registration form, because 360,000 Mississippians are eligible to be registered to vote, and they are not registered. This is why I got involved. I'm a member of the Mississippi State Democratic Executive Committee. The chairman of the party said, what can we do to increase voter registration? So I'm very active. I go out there and knock on doors. I got a little Obama talking doll that I press that talks and try and get people to vote and register. And so I know that an issue that is very important to Mississippians is to legalize marijuana. And I've brought it up a couple times at meetings. Why not have a ballot initiative to legalize it? You know what? Nobody wrote it. 2 years went by. In this August, we had a meeting. I brought it up again. Crickets in the room. Nothing happened. And I decided, fuck, I have to write it.
That's right.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know about cannabis. So that's why I started a Facebook page that has the same name as 4 other Facebook pages. Freaking out. I didn't even notice. I just thought, I need somebody to help me because I don't know what I'm doing. So I started a Facebook page, and you know what? People would say something that would be helpful to me. They would say, one gentleman, I remember him saying, hey, you have in the ballot initiative the rates of when you drive, what the rate can be for you to get a ticket. And that isn't working in Colorado, so you need to, I'm going to be busted, he said. I'm going to be busted a lot. So I decided, let's just take it out. So out it went. So little things like that, and we've had changes to the ballot initiative. So we have to have voter registration forms when we're doing the ballot initiative, because if somebody comes up and they really want to sign and they're not registered to vote, you got to have this. Just have them fill it out right there. Just have them fill it out. And at the bottom, underneath their signature, is a place for their phone number. When I have voter registration forms out, I highlight the phone number. And I tell them the truth. If the circuit clerk can't read what you wrote and you don't have your phone number, it's going to be trash. If you put your phone number, they might call you, and then you might get registered. So now I got their phone number, yes.
I also have a list of what felonies disqualify you, because people think that just because they have any felony, they can't vote.
Yes, that's another
I
topic.
posted
Okay.
a list on the MAC page like 2 days ago. I've got a list. Everyone should have one when they're registering.
How long after they register to vote can they sign the petition?
Wait a second. No.
That's exactly right.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. When you have however many numbers of petitions to turn in, and you have your stack of voter registration forms, just go and turn it all in.
So they
Because
can
the
sign?
circuit clerk, yes, they can sign it. They fill out the voter registration form, and then they sign your ballot petition. Okay? Because here's what happens. You turn it into the circuit clerk, and they don't care about your ballot initiative, and they put it over here in the basket.
Right.
And then they take all the voter registration forms that by law they must register within 30 days and send you out your card, and they go and work on them. Cha, 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 cha. And then, whenever they want to, then they get this. So, when I first thought about this, I thought, well, I was going to tell you to turn this in, and then a month later turn that in, and I just thought, you know, if you are wise, when you turn it in, you'll say to the circuit clerk, look, I got some voter registration forms because some people who are in here are not registered to vote. Would you please do all of these before you certify it? You know, it's a total honest conversation, because then if they say to you, no, you'll say, okay, you take back the petitions and you just leave the voter registration forms. Okay. All right, next we have on the rules, black ink. Of the 80,000 signatures that were on ballot initiative 42, They are valid registered voters. But see, what happened is that they really wanted to get this ballot initiative passed. So they took the ballot initiative and they left it right over here at a barber shop. And then they came and got it a couple weeks later. And the people who signed it didn't have a black pen. They weren't registered to vote. They'd already signed it before. They didn't know that when it says address, that we don't mean the address where you're living now. No, we mean the address where you're registered to vote. It doesn't matter if you put your legal name on here. If you put the wrong address on here, it's rejected. Because the person filling out, who helped you fill it out, did not think to say to you, hey man, be sure to write the address where you're registered to vote. And women were the biggest group of rejected. Because women forgot their proper name. Because they're not registered as Missy. They're not registered in their maiden name. They're registered in their ex-married name or whatever. Women change their names. And then they don't fill out the form, which is in the middle of the voter registration form, and change their names back so they, just a second, I'll continue. So they fill it out using the name they like to be called and the address where they're living now, and the circuit clerk can't make out anything of it, so it's rejected. Yes?
So, when we have those forms for them to fill out to register, and they're already registered, they're unsure what address they have when they first registered or what name they had, can we just come to redo and turn in again, except for safety purposes?
Yes. Christy wants to know, if they don't know where they're registered to vote, can we just get them to redo it? There is no penalty in somebody filling out a voter registration form even if they're already registered. There's no penalty. They don't say, oh, the circuit clerk doesn't get this